All right, we'll let Coach get us started as always.
Well, in quick review of last week's game, I thought it was a complete performance. Thought our guys played a good football game, relatively sound game. I know we had a few penalties that we're trying to clean up. That number went down from 12 to 8. Again, I don't know if we necessarily have to agree with all of them, but they are what they are. I thought Keith, that was by far and away his best game of the year. I thought Bishop ran extremely well. I thought defensively, again, the key to that ball game was eliminating the run on 1st and 10. I know we gave up a couple big runs there, but for the most part we did that. And then we played really good third down defense. You know, when you hold your opponent to 1 for 13 on third down and you get off the field, you give your offense opportunities. And conversely, the offense, I think 7 for 15 on third down, the efficiency in the red zone, all of that added up to a good ball game for us, a good performance, a complete game, one of which that hopefully we can build on here and continue to grow on from as we head into the last couple ball games of the season.
All right, questions?
So the third down defense, is it, when you looked at that, is there a theme to what made you guys defend them well in those situations?
Well, that we covered well. You know, that Justin had a good plan as far as what we were trying to get done defensively. We mixed the coverages some. We mixed some pressures in there. I thought we got adequate pressure on the quarterback. We've improved in that area. But I thought the coverage was good. I thought the guys were on guys. And then when there was the competitive plays to make, we made those competitive plays, which was really encouraging. We won some one-on-one battles. Which you have to do on third down. Ultimately, it comes down to winning your one-on-one matchups, whether it's at the line of scrimmage, rushing the passer, or in coverage.
You still plan to use Austin as a defensive end on occasion?
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's ever just going to go away. It's got to fit the game plan and who we're playing and what we're doing. I thought he was relatively successful at doing that in the game. I mean, obviously he didn't, just beat the tackle and sack the quarterback, but he allowed us to move Hudson down inside to do some things from getting more speed on the field and utilizing that, and I think that helped Andrew, and he got a sack later in the ball game because of that. So we'll see. It's got to marry up well with our game plan offensively and also what we're going to see from our opponent. We haven't got down that road yet. We're just in base game plan mode still.
And you've been reluctant to move Shaq Thompson from defense to offense and outline the reasons why. Why are you comfortable moving Austin, such an important part of the offense, to these occasional spots on defense?
Well, just health, one. I think Austin's been really healthy right now. Two, the need of what we need on defense from a pass rush standpoint for us to get off the field on defense on third down. I think that, if Shaq were to come over to offense, it'd be at running back. And Bishop's playing pretty good right now, so I don't know that what we'd get out of Shaq is that much better, or it would be better than what we're getting out of Bishop. I won't rule out down the road at some point that Shaq wouldn't come over and do some things offensively, and it could be this week. I don't know, but we haven't gotten to that point yet.
And have you done this with a player in the past, something similar to what you're doing with Austin?
No, I don't recall. We've always practiced that kind of stuff, and especially when these things occur with us, it's in special situations. It could be short yardage, sometimes goal line scenarios. We've used Pio Vatave already this season on offense. So it's specialty situations. It's not a guy that's just playing both ways. It's in a specialty situation. And when Austin went in on defense, it was an obvious passing downs on third down. And so if and or when we do that, it'll be for the specialty situations. It won't just be for the guys playing both ways for the sake of playing both ways.
There were some guys who didn't play on the line Saturday. I mean, was that kind of a factor in that, trying to fill in for those
Yeah,
guys?
we were a little nicked up. Talia Crichton, we held out from the ball game. Pio Vatave didn't play and potentially could be lost for the remainder of the season. I think that's probably what's going to come out of this. Princeton Fuimwano was held out of the ball game and could be held out for a couple more weeks here. So we were a bit nicked up on the defensive front. Josh Banks was not 100% last Saturday night, and so with some of that being nicked up on the defensive line, and then the opportunities that presented itself, we were able to get we were able to get Austin on the field and do some things.
So, sorry, with that in mind, what did you see in Drew Schultz when you watched the film?
He tried hard. That's what you get out of Drew. He's a try-hard guy. I appreciate that about him.
Having played so many night games this season, how does it change things this week
I'm pumped, man. I'm so excited to get up, eat breakfast, and go to the stadium and play the game. And maybe these morning practices will finally pay off for us here the last couple of weeks. But obviously, 11:30 Mountain Time, 10:30 our time kickoff. The 10:30 our time kickoff is about when we normally get off the field from practice. So I don't think waking up early and playing that game should be a big deal to us. We should be accustomed to that. I know the guys are actually pretty excited about it to get up in the morning of a game and, you know, eat their Wheaties and go play.
With that in mind, do you kind of maybe include more game type situations because of the time frame?
Well, we'll practice normal. It'll be really competitive on Tuesday, and just as it normally is in November, we'll lighten the load a little bit on Wednesday and Thursday and do our normal walkthrough routine on Friday and go play.
Because of how much he has played that hybrid position of defense this year, has Shaq's projection changed at all where long-term he might be more of a one-guy?
It's a good question. You know, we've been kicking it around a little bit as a staff because obviously from a recruiting standpoint, it could change us some of where our needs are and all that. You know, we're going to try to really assess it after the next 2 weeks are done when we have a little bit of time. Because he's playing really well right now. He's gotten better and better and better as the year's gone on. We see his tackling ability, the physicality that he plays with. So I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell. He's such a unique kid. He's so talented. Like we said, he could come over and play on offense. He could return kickoffs. He could play safety. He could play linebacker. We want to do what's best for him. We want to do what's best for our team. And so we'll assess it after the season.
Certainly your expectations for Austin at the start of the year were high. He's breaking numerous records as a semifinalist for the Mackey Award. Is he surpassing what you thought he'd be, or is he what you hoped he would be?
I think he's right on course. You know, he's really improved his blocking the last 2 weeks, and that's what's been cool to me to watch is the guy buying in and taking to the coaching and working on the little things. Then the playmaking ability is coming right to the forefront, and Keith is understanding that about him and giving him opportunities to make those plays. And I don't know who right now is playing better than him at that position around the country. I just know what he's doing. And he's playing at a high level, but with it is his willingness, and it has been something that, for a young guy, he's just a true sophomore still, you know, and so there's some learning lessons along the way. And to his credit, he has, when there's been some adversity, when there has been some bumps in the road for him, he's responded to the challenges that have been presented to him, and he'll continually have to do that, and because everybody's going to know, every opponent we play, where number 88 is, and the focus is going to be on him and stopping him, and he can't get frustrated at times if the ball's not coming to him early in the games, and not that we're not trying to give him the ball, but we just have to adjust to how people are playing him and what they're going to do. And the end result is the rapport with the quarterback, his demeanor throughout the game, staying focused and locked into the ball game, and he's going to make his plays, he's going to get his opportunities like he has the last few weeks.
How did you weigh the injury risk to Austin relative to playing a new position?
It's football. You know, this is a. You know, obviously, we know this is a violent sport, but guys can get injured. You know, doing stuff that there's nobody around them, and we saw that early in the season. So I'm not as concerned. It's not as if he's in there taking on run blocks and different things, and he's not in on goal line. He's in there in obvious passing downs where he's rushing the passer. So if we're coaching afraid to get hurt, then we're afraid to lose too. So we got to coach to win and play to win and expect to do that and stay aggressive. And this is just another example of that.
Steve, you mentioned Austin's health. Is Keith getting healthy too? Because he seemed to run with more authority Saturday and maybe a little faster even.
I think he's been fine physically. You know, I don't think he's really been hurt at all this season. I think he is, if anything, he's getting healthy mentally. You know, and he's understanding the guys around him are playing pretty good. He's playing within the system. I thought he made awesome decisions the other night to throw the ball away. I mean, I don't know how many incompletions he had. I think he had 9 maybe in the game, something like that. And probably half of those were direct throwaways, and so he's throwing the ball accurately. There's a couple throws I'm sure he'd love to have back, but I think just from a mental standpoint, he's healthy. He's back to Keith Price as I know him, which is fun to be around, and he's in the game. He's picking up the defense. He's right there on the sidelines, in a part of the game, an integral part of the game, not just when he's at quarterback, but when we're on defense and special teams. He's exuding tremendous amount of confidence and leadership. In the end, I think our team feeds off of him.
When you watched the film, did you see a more decisive Keith than maybe?
Yeah, I thought he made really good decisions, quick decisions. Knew where he wanted to go with the football. When things weren't there, he checked the ball down. We saw Bishop Sankey with a couple catches out of the backfield, Kendall Taylor with a couple catches out of the backfield. So the ball's going to where it needs to be going, and then the guys are making plays, and whether it's the frontline guys in Austin and Kaysen making their plays, or when the other guys are getting their opportunities, Cody Bruns, Jadon Mickens, DeAndre Campbell, those types of guys that are making their plays as well.
You guys are bowl eligible now. Do you spend much time with the team at all talking about the potential options, or you just kind of play out the season and wait?
We can't. We really can't control it. It's somewhat out of our hands. What we can control is the way we play this Saturday, and the way we prepare for this Saturday. And sometimes you can get caught looking at everything that the what ifs and what might be, and miss what's right in front of you. That's the obvious, and the obvious is we need to go to Colorado and take what we've done the last few weeks as a football team of getting better and continue to build on that and go try to put 2 really complete games together in a row. See if we can start a new streak of putting 2 road wins together, which we haven't done in a while. So there's a lot of things that are right in front of us that I want us focused on. I can't control what happens around our conference. There's a lot of games to be played. I know there's only 2 weeks left, but a lot of teams are playing each other, and we can't control that stuff. What we can control is ourselves and what's right in front of us.
From a bigger picture standpoint about the program and bowl games, there are some projections out there that could have you guys matched up with Boise State here opener next year. Is that something you'd like to try and avoid?
I really don't know. You're going to have to ask me that one in a couple weeks. I haven't put enough thought into it to answer it of a true feeling of how I feel about it, quite honestly.
Oregon State was a season changer, the win there, and you followed it with success. Has there since, and looking back on that now, is there something that really resonated with Oregon State?
Well, I thought we practiced and really played with a purpose against Oregon State. I thought our guys came out of that ball game and played with a real sense of purpose. I think defensively, obviously, our ability to create turnovers is evident. It's been the last 3 weeks for us. I think we've generated 10 turnovers now in 3 weeks. So we're the emphasis of getting after the football. Our ability to take care of it last week was big against a Utah team that was very opportunistic. It's unfortunate Kaysen had his fumble there on the screen, but outside of that, the ball security is improving. More understand that aspect of the game, but more importantly is the sense of purpose that we're going to work with every day, and then ultimately we're playing with on Saturdays. That you can't just, there's no going through the motions. You got to come ready to go and ready to play and do it from the opening kickoff, and I think we've been doing that. Sometimes we may be a little over aggressive, obviously with a couple of the penalties that we've gotten. But I'd much rather that be the case than us being passive in our approach. We're coming out very aggressive, and we're playing that way.
Having said that, sorry, Colorado has a pretty good football history. Any thoughts on what they're going through right now?
It's always challenging, Bob. I think that, I know Coach Embry. I know him personally. I know he's fighting his tail off with that coaching staff to get the best out of his football team, and it's challenging. We've been there before, and it's not always fun. It's not always easy. But when you watch the film, they're playing hard, and sometimes, it takes a little time to get over the hump. But they're obviously coaching hard. They're still playing hard. They just haven't gotten a lot of luck. That being said, they're going to come out and play hard at 11:30 Saturday morning in Folsom Field, and we better be ready to go.
Back to that Oregon State game, Steve, those 2 late passes through the Jason, basically threw them up there. Is that looking back as kind of pivotal point for him as a big?
I think it's helped him. I think it's helped him to understand our style of offense and who we are, you know. And I know I've said this numerous times, but Kaysen and Austin are not guys that are going to be open by 10 yards behind the defense. They're guys that are going to be, when it's one-on-one, that's open. And understanding that and throwing the ball to a place that gives them the chance to make their plays is what's needed in those moments. And Keith is starting to do that, and it's becoming a little bit more obvious to him, I think, and he's much more aware of that stuff when it has occurred, and is more apt to make that type of a throw. Is he doing it as much as we would like? Probably not yet. You know, quite honestly, I'd like to throw it more types of those throws, but we're working towards that, and that's what the season's about. It's about evolving to the personality and the personnel on your team, and then playing to it. And we've got 2 more regular season games to go to continue to try to develop that stuff.
Sark, when you see a player like Kadeem Carey go for a conference record, and you see how well Bishop's running the ball, how much does that alter your game plan with you?
Not at all.
This week?
Not at all. I mean, Matt Barkley threw 6 touchdowns, you know, too. I mean, stuff every week. You have to do what you're good at, and we're going to do what we're good at. We're not going to try to reinvent the wheel. We're not going to try to become Arizona and run Arizona's offense this week. You know, we're going to run our offense and try to execute it to the best of our ability. That gives us the best chance to be successful.
The impressive effort of your players is a given in this question. But do you mind addressing the good fortune you've had since you started wearing a hat on the sideline?
I don't know. Maybe our players, you ask them, maybe they notice the hat. I really, you know, I just try to fuel your fire, you know, Aaron, keep you relevant. But it's a hat, you know. Literally, Coach Johnny Nansen was wearing the hat one morning in the hotel whenever that game was, and it was raining outside, and I said, hey, let me wear that hat tonight in the game. That's how the hat began. So if that's all part of us winning 3 games in a row, then I'll keep wearing the hat.
Has there been a superstition there deciding that you're going to have an advisor since? I mean, you go with a hot hand, right? So I haven't spent that much time, you know, delegating over what to wear in the game. But now it's pretty clear to me that the hat is just, it's unbelievable, the success we have with me in the hat. So we'll continue with the hat.
You probably didn't notice it during the game, but on the film you may have noticed your entire sideline is now Keith Bell before kickoff. You did notice that, I think.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
What kind of game day psyche is he brought?
Well, I love what Keith brings, but I think it's just in general, our entire staff has done a great job. Our leaders on this team of, you know, we only get 13 opportunities to do what we do. And we work really hard all year long for those 13 opportunities for 4 hours on a Saturday or a Friday or a Thursday or whenever we play to enjoy the experience of college football. And some of our guys get to play 80, 85 snaps a game. Other guys might not get in the game. But that experience, for whatever it is, of the 85 plays or the none, of just being in that stadium, being with your teammates, the blood, the sweat, the tears, I just want them to enjoy it. And it's in no disrespect to the game or to our opponent or any of that. It's about us enjoying the experience of being together and playing college football because it goes by too fast for them. And I just want to make sure they enjoy it. And Keith has done a great job of rallying those guys on the sidelines and getting them excited about it. And I think it's helped our football team and our play as well. I think it keeps guys involved in the football game so that when their number is called, they're not caught off guard. They're expecting to be put in, and when they are, they make their plays.